Thomas.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are
Good,
you?
good.
So you're Keith, right?
Yes, I'm Keith. I'm Keith.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you, Thomas. So, how's your day so far?
It's good, busy. And sorry to say, I have a meeting that I need to jump to in half an hour. So that's
Oh,
just to let you know.
yeah, I'll make it quick. No worries at all. No worries at all. So,
Yeah,
Thomas, your second full-length album, Endless Nights, is to be out coming Friday, the 31st. So, would you like to tell me a bit on the songwriting and the production that goes behind this new album?
sure, sure. Yeah, as you say, it's coming out quite soon, which is obviously a relief and
Mhm.
also an excitement to us. So it's been long in the making. Um, I'm based in East Africa and has been so for the last 3 years, which meant
Mhm.
that I'm separated from the rest of the
Yeah.
band, at least when it comes to geography. So in that sense, I mean the band has been in some sort of a hibernation when it comes to live activity, but this hasn't stopped the creativity as such. I mean, we've been writing songs, or I've been writing songs going back 3 years, and
Mm.
and that was I mean it's been a slow process, but due to technology it hasn't been
Yeah.
that much of a struggle, because I mean you can easily do things I mean remote. And
Mm.
then I've been sending songs ongoing to other members in the band, and they provided feedback, and so slowly the songs came into being, and we ended up with a total of 9 songs, right? And then we sort of, the next stage was recording or re-recording some of the stuff. I mean, we did
Mm.
drums in a studio in back in 24, so it's a
Yeah.
while back. And then following that, I mean, we did some re-recording of guitars. I mean, I did most of the stuff down here in Nairobi, while the rest of the guys were in Denmark.
Yeah.
And the vocals and bass and keys has been recorded. I mean, that has been sort of an ongoing process for a year after we did the drums. So it took quite some time actually to layer all the
Yeah.
different instrumentation.
Mhm.
And then I think it was. You're familiar with the process. I mean, then when
Yeah.
you have the songs ready, I mean, there's some editing going on, and then obviously we had our main producer, Tu Madsen. He did the sort of the final touch, and then I think the entire record was ready. I mean, some half a year ago. And then, I mean, it's just a matter of waiting and doing
Yeah.
some promotion, and then we released the first single in August, and now we have 3 singles out, and the record is coming on Friday, right? So that's, I
Yeah.
mean, it's a long process, but it's, I mean, it's the way things are, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. 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 And that Endless Night has some kind of a theme or a concept that was put behind.
Well, I mean, it's not like a concept album. I think there's some themes going through the songs and also the lyrics,
Mhm.
which you can probably also read out of the song titles and the album title. I mean, it's obviously it's a doom death metal
Yeah.
record that looks on some of the darker emotional sides of life, and plays around with contrast as well. So for example, my inspiration has been the contrast between, so for example, my experience here in East Africa compared to Scandinavia,
Mhm.
which is sort of two very different uh, living circumstances and geographies and landscapes and whatsoever. So I think that has been some of the underlying themes going into the record. But basically, I think it's, when it comes to the music, it's atmospheric, it's melodies, it's emotional, slow, heavy. So I think that's to some extent, I think compares with a lot of other bands in the genre. But we've
Mhm.
tried to sort of carve our own path and our own song type of songwriting. And I think we succeeded quite well in making a record that
Yeah.
was at one side. I think it's, as a whole, there's sort of uh, a, a red line going through. I mean, you can easily hear that it's part of the same record, the same themes,
Yeah.
but we're also trying to I mean, to define our own way of making this music, and not just being, you know, a replica of
Yeah.
other bands, right? So I mean, it's, and that's been a long process, but I think we've succeeded quite well. I'm quite happy with the result, at least.
Yeah, wonderful. And speaking on the artwork, I have to say an amazing work that goes behind the cover artwork for this album. So, would you like to tell me the theme or the making of this artwork?
Yeah, you know, I mean, to some extent, it was a bit of it's quite simple, actually. So it's based on a photograph that was taken by our vocalist Michael while
Hmm.
traveling. I think it was in South America. So he was digging into all this the Gothic theme. I mean, taking
Yeah.
pictures in graveyards and churches and around some older towns, right? So, and I
Yeah.
think we had a bunch of photographs to select from, and that also sort of inspired some of the
Mm.
lyrics as well.
Yeah.
And this particular photograph that makes it the front cover, I think it's also I think it shows. I guess it's a pretty good allegory or picture of the title as well. I mean, you could easily see
Yeah.
a connection between a graveyard of this kind, right, and the title "Endless Nights." I mean, then you can play around with it without being
Mm.
too explicit. But I think it's that was an obvious choice. It took a while, I mean, to get to the final result of the cover artwork. But to be honest, it's pretty simple. We haven't
Mm.
used you know, any sophisticated
Gotcha.
graphic persons. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, right?
Gotcha. Gotcha. Gotcha.
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. And I had the pleasure to listen to the album in its entirety, and I have to say, nine awesome songs, great melodic death metal songs, and highly empowered with the doom genre. And it all came out so beautiful from the start to the each and every song. Of
Yeah, thanks, man.
beautifully, thank you, and beautifully picked up. And I enjoyed from the start to the end. Great work and an awesome album for the year. So, as a creator, how do you guys feel about the release of this new album?
I mean, as I said for a start, I mean, it's obviously a relief to get it out there, but it's also, I mean, it's also exciting and a bit. Well, I mean, as a musician, I mean, obviously we are happy with the songwriting, we are happy with the result, but I mean, the next step would also to see if listeners out there who receives the album, and reviewers as well, like yourself, if they feel the same way, right? So
Yeah,
I mean, I'm really looking forward to see if it resonates, if we touch listeners in the way that we anticipate or hope for, at least.
mm,
Because I think for us, to begin with, when we had the songs or the demos ready, we were not quite sure how the final result would sound like.
mm,
Also due to some, I mean, there was a lot of technical issues going on,
mm,
but when we heard the final results, we were really happy, and I think it's also the kind of recorder album that grows on you. At least
yeah,
that's how it is for me. I think while listening to the songs and the full album several times, I think the songs tend to grow. Also because there's some layers and some depth, I would say. I mean, without saying too much or bragging, I mean,
yeah,
I think it's got a lot of details that you tend to experience after listening to the songs
yeah,
several times, which I'm really happy with. I like those kind of records that grows
mm,
on you
yeah,
and that you tend to return to and enjoy listening to several times, right? So in that sense, we're really happy, and we hope. I mean, we hope the listeners will see the same or feel the same
yeah,
about it. But let's see. We're excited
yeah,
to see how it goes.
yeah. Wonderful. And Friday, do you guys have some big plans on the release?
To be honest, no, and that's also due to logistics. Since I'm here,
Yeah,
and the rest of the gang is in Denmark, we didn't have the chance to do a release party. I mean, a traditional manner. We would love to play the record live, and also, I mean, meet whomever was interested, fans and so, and drink some beers and stuff. I mean, that would
yeah,
have been great. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. But actually, I'm traveling back to Denmark next week and meeting with the guys, and then we start getting ready for live gigs. So
Yeah.
hopefully we get to celebrate at a later stage.
Yeah.
But Friday will be mostly happening online. I mean, there will be promotion in a traditional manner on
Mm.
social media and doing interviews like these, trying to make some noise and get some attention. But I think it will be, as I said before, it will be sort of another chapter in a slow process, going
Mm.
towards some live gigs, probably next year in
Gotcha.
26.
Gotcha.
So ideally, we would play some live gigs immediately after the release, but unfortunately, I mean the situation
Yeah. Mm.
means that would be impossible for now. But we are getting ready for it, and we'll definitely play some festivals and gigs in 26.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And speaking of the singles that have been released, and specifically on Volcanic Funeral and A Choir of Fallen Angels, and great videos that has been done for these two videos. And would you like to tell me a bit on the making of these videos?
Yeah, actually, so you probably noticed that so the first one was a mix between traditional footage and some AI, which we tested out. I
Mm.
must say I'm not entirely sure if AI is the right
Yeah.
way to go for music videos, but I think it was an interesting process, and I think the result was okay. I mean, and that again was. I think ideally we would want to do a traditional music video with
Yeah.
band members. I mean, you know those kind of videos where you
Yeah.
where you at least pretend to play the music live,
Mm.
and then mix it with some other footage, right? But I think the result was fairly okay. The other two singles were just made by a cool guy from South America who does some of our graphics, and those were a bit more, what you could say, they're not traditional music videos as such. I mean, I think they're more like, what do you call those? It's not a lyric video, it's something else,
Visual,
right? I think it's,
like we call visualizer.
yeah, visualizer, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I
Yeah.
think that was the best possible solution, I think, with very short notice. So I think it was simply just accompanying the songs on Spotify and other
Yeah.
channels, right? So I think it was working all right.
Great, 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 great. And the band's history goes back to 2011, and you came up with two EPs and now with two full-length albums. So how do you feel about the road that you have traveled so far?
Yeah, so as I've already hinted, I mean, the band has been in hibernation for quite some years. So
Mm.
maybe just to make a long story short, I mean, we started off with the band back in 11, and I actually joined a bit later in 2012 or 13. I can't
Mm.
remember exactly. And then we played some live gigs and released a couple of singles and EPs at that time, and due to other priorities, I mean, all members of the band had other band priorities at that time. So actually, the band went into hibernation for quite some years.
Yeah.
And it was not until COVID where Michael, the vocalist, he gave me a call and we agreed to release some old material. And actually, that was the 22 album.
Yeah.
There was there was some old songs lying around in an archive where we did some re-recording. So it's some old, old stuff that was polished, and some of the stuff were rearranged and re-recorded to some extent, and then we released it. And I think that as part of that process, I think we were excited to do more, and then I think we just agreed, maybe silently agreed. I mean, to slowly start writing songs for a full length, because I mean, to
Yeah.
be honest, the 22 album was not really a full length. It was only, I can't recall, was it 5 or 6 songs? I can't
Mm.
remember, but something like that. So it was kickstarting the band, bringing it back to life, and we also saw a couple of new members joining at that time.
Yeah.
So Marco, who was playing the bass and also producing part of the album, he joined us in that process, and the same goes for the keyboard player Anders. He joined at that time. Whom else? Yeah, I think, and now we're actually looking into to getting a few more members on board in order to do live gigs. So we'll get another guitar player on board as well. So I mean, so in that sense, I mean, it's been a long process with some quiet periods in between. But now I think we are excited and hyped to get started and also getting ready for live gigs again. So I mean, it's an exciting times.
Great. And Thomas, finally, any message that you have for the fans around the world?
I mean, so we're really grateful. I mean, that people already started, I mean, streaming the songs and providing feedbacks, and we have some really positive feedback. So that's, I mean, we are very grateful for that. I mean, and especially since it's coming from all around the globe. I mean, I think that's really exciting for us. So I hope that will continue, and I really hope we can reach audience. I mean, across the globe. I mean, now we're speaking, right, and you're sitting in India, as I understand. I mean, and if we get listeners there, that would be really cool. I mean, in the same manner as getting listeners everywhere else. So I think that's really exciting to us, and we are highly grateful that people are giving some really positive feedback, and hopefully that would, I mean, the same will go when we play live gigs. I mean, we hope that people will show up and get a really good experience from that as well. So I mean, thanks so much for giving us the chance to share the music, but also, I mean, doing these interviews, and for you listening. I mean, that's we're really grateful for that. So hopefully, I mean, the album will resonate when we release it on Friday. And I mean, I'm glad you're one of the cool guys that spread the words and help us promote the music out there. I mean, we're really happy about that. So
absolutely, mate. And Thomas, I want to thank you so much for giving me today this wonderful opportunity to have you on the show, and a real pleasure to meet you. And thank you so much for Endless Nights. Like I said earlier, a fantastic album. I'm totally loving this new album from you guys, and brilliant work. And I wish you all the best. And I'm really hoping someday we can meet on the road.
Thanks. Yeah, sure. I agree. Keith, and don't hesitate. I mean, if you'd like to follow up with something, just pop an email. I mean, I'll be happy to add to the story if needed. Right.
Absolutely.
Thanks
Thomas.
a lot.
Thank you. Take care and have a great rest of the day.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
Bye.